Okay, 3, 2, 1. Phantom of many topics. It is January 2025. We are in Wannsee, Germany, at the Wannsee Conference House. This is where Reinhard Heydrich and Adolf Eichmann, along with about 11 or 12 other people, decided the fate of the Jewish people, and this is where they came up with the final solution. This was a secret conference that no one was supposed to know about in case later on the Allies find out and would put them on war crimes. So they destroyed all the documents except for one person's copy of the documents. We wouldn't have even known about this conference. In the year 2000-2001, there was a movie on HBO called Conspiracy, starring Kenneth Branaugh and Stanley Tucci, among others, that documented this event. The house, you might see, is familiar because of the fact that they actually filmed it on location right here. Okay, thank you. The beautiful house overlooks a beautiful lake right there. And Reinhard Heydrich said that after the war, he intended to move into this building that he was going to either purchase or have already purchased. And let's see if we can go inside.
Das heißt, ich habe da keinesfalls irgendwie sozusagen wie bei WhatsApp oder so irgendwie so ein Chatverlauf, wo ich irgendwie weiß, der hat das gesagt und der hat so lange gesprochen und das wissen wir alles nicht. Das heißt, wenn ich einen Film mache und eine Szene darstelle, wo ich eine Diskussion darstelle, kann ich mich darauf eigentlich nicht wirklich anhand so ein bisschen vielleicht auch darüber Ableitungen machen. Welche Rolle hatten diese Personen, welche Funktion hatten die, was könnten die sich vielleicht geäußert haben? Wo haben die in anderen schriftlichen Dokumenten vielleicht ihre Position deutlich gemacht?
There was a chance discovery.
Setzt sich so ein bisschen in Position an. Aber es ist und bleibt ein Spielfilm.
The Allies didn't even know about this. And of course, the Nuremberg trials, where we were before. Okay, so the Soviets occupied this villa for a while after the war, and then it was turned over to the United States, where some of the soldiers lived here for a while after the war as well. You can see how beautiful this place is. It's on a lake, and there are dozens and dozens of million-dollar homes along this lake even now. As well as, like, there's this river boat cruise tour or something along the lake as well. Okay, these are photographs of people who attended this conference according to the documentation. One of them is Reinhard Heydrich, who is played by Kenneth Branaugh. And then there's several other people: Martin Luther, Rudolf Lange, Roland Frazier, Alfred Meyer, Heinrich Müller, Joseph Bühler, Ebhard Schongorth, Otto Hoffmann, Wilhelm Stuckart. Wilhelm Stuckart was also one of the famous, he was the lawyer guy. I don't remember the name of the person who played him, but he's also famous. And Adolf Eichmann was played by Stanley Tucci. And then I think Eric Newman was wasn't he the author of the 4-year plan? Remember the 4-year plan? And then Kritzinger. Kritzinger was the guy who was trying to not kill the Jews, but just have them deported or sent to Madagascar or something like that. But he didn't like the final solution. And then here's the other two. I think Kritzinger only received like 5 or 10 years at Nuremberg before he was released. Okay, wow, and here's some more. This is Reinhard Heydrich's documentation, and then William Stuckart. Okay, these are more documentation placards. Documentations. Okay. Then this is a political cartoon. There we go. And this is a flow chart of power. Okay, either the building was remodeled or the movie didn't follow where the actual rooms were, because we should be in the dining hall area right here. And if you remember, the dining hall area should be right here, but it doesn't seem to exist here. So I don't know what's going on. I have to ask the guy in front. Here's where that tour group was, and here's the back where the lake is, but this is the actual dining hall. So it's actually different from the movie, because when in the movie, immediately when you go in, you turn to the left, and there you are in the dining hall. But they say that actually this is where the conference in this room took place. So it's at the back of the house, different from the movie. Different from the movie. Okay. Oh, and here's the chain of command. At the top you have the Führer, Adolf Hitler. And then you had Hermann Göring. I think he was the Reichsmarshal after Rudolf Hess was before. But Rudolf Hess did something weird, so we'll talk about it later, okay? And then Heinrich Himmler was the head of the SS. And then Wilhelm Frick, I don't know him. He's the one, Molotov-Ribbentrop. Remember, he's the one who argued, hey, how come Molotov isn't here alongside me at the Nuremberg trial? Remember, we talked about that when we were there. And then Martin Bormann is the chairman of the Nazi Party. Okay, and then over here, I don't know these people. Oh, Kritzinger was the guy who said that we should not kill the Jewish people, but we should just maybe like deport them further to the east and so forth. And he didn't want them or send them to Madagascar. And, oh yes, Eric Newman, do you remember? He was the office of the 4-year plan. And then Wilhelm Stuckard, he was played by the guy who played Johannes Vermeer in the movie The Girl with the Pearl Earring. But I don't remember his name off the top of my head, to go research it. And then, of course, Reinhard Heydrich was played by Kenneth Branaugh in the movie. So he was the one who was the Obersturmbannführer. Okay, and then these other people I don't really know. Oh, Adolf Eichmann was played by Stanley Tucci, and he fled to Argentina and then was picked up by the Mossad in like 1960 and then put on trial in 1961 in Jerusalem, or in Tel Aviv. And, okay, that's it. I think I do remember this thing. Remember they went out for a smoke between breaks, and then they were talking about how to bring Kritzinger aboard, and so eventually Reinhard Heydrich threatened him, and then he had to just agree to the terms. But these documents actually are the only reason why we even know that this actually happened, because this was a secret meeting that no one knew about. Do you remember when Stanley Tucci in the movie, the guy was typing and he stopped him from typing and says there'll be no record of this, and then he was interrupted by a phone call, and then he said no one's taking any phone calls here unless the Führer calls, and the Führer won't be calling. And so, but one person, I'm not sure who it is, I'll have to do the research on that. One of them did not destroy their documentation and then was found out by the Allies after the war. And then so several people from this conference who were still alive were sent to the Nuremberg trials, and some of them were killed. Okay, and then this is a map of Germany between World War I and World War, actually, yeah, this is a map between like World War I and World War II. Or, no, actually, I'm sorry. This one is a map of just how much the Nazis took over. You can see that Bohemian and Moravia is the area in Czechoslovakia, and then this was called the central government here, and then you had Königsberg, and then so forth. Okay, and of course France was split up into the Frankenreich, and then Vichy France was down here. That was a puppet government. Okay, I'm trying to keep my shadow out of it, but this is the photo of the dining room at the time. Okay, sorry, the shadow's gonna just, this is this is how the dining room looked like in 1922 before the conference. And here's some porcelain tiles from Delft that was originally here in the building. Okay, so the final solution was that they were going to put people in these concentration camps and then gas them to death as they pretended, told them that they were going to be showering because they had lice or whatever, and they made them think that they were going to survive because they said they had numbers, you know, like 1 through 100 in these cubby holes, and then they said put your clothes and shoes in the cubby holes and remember your number, because after your shower you have to come and reclaim your things, so that making people believe that they were going to survive. Because prior to this, they were killing Jews just by shooting at them, and even shooting women and children. And a lot of the soldiers, they did not feel that was right. Even though they were Jews, they were still women and children, and the soldiers didn't like it, and it was hurting morale. So that's why they went with the gasoline instead. Besides, they talked about having to save bullets because bullets were more valuable and so forth. And then here is a picture of the Jewish people having to evacuate. And then here's some of the mass murders. And then sometimes people would just be placed against the wall and shot. And, oh, okay, here's a map of the world between World War I and II. Before that, Germany had actually had more land. They lost this area called the Danzig Corridor, later, of course, renamed to Gdansk. And then after World War II, Poland shifted this way because Russia wanted these territories. So then the Polish moved here and then displaced the people of Silesia out. And I guess this is like an interactive map or something because it just moved. Okay. And then here's the destruction of a synagogue. Okay, and then here's people being forced to register as Jewish. And then over here, this couple is being denounced for doing interracial marriage between Jewish and Germans. So, okay, and over here were Nazi soldiers doing a boycott of the Jewish businesses. And this is a picture of the Fuhrer, Adolf Hitler, and that's Hermann Goering right here. That's Hitler, and looks like that. Is this von Hindenburg, this guy or this guy? I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. And then here is a poster saying, you know, look at how awful these people are in this poster. Okay. And here's a map of how many people were killed in these concentration camps before and after for the Jewish population. Okay, so you had 3.2 million people killed. Okay, the map keeps moving. Over here you had 5.2 million and so forth. So overall, I guess the total number was going to be about 6.5 million people. And here's a letter stating that they decided to postpone this meeting, which was originally planned for December 9th due to the Pearl Harbor invasion of Japanese, even caught them by surprise. So they pushed this to January 20th, which was only a few days ago. Wow. Okay. And then here is finally the fireplace that, if you remember the scene where after the conference was over, Reinhard Heydrich and Eichmann had that scene by the fireplace. Don't know if it actually took place, but then that's the one where Kenneth Branaugh and Stanley Tucci were discussing the future and what might happen if the contents of this conference had gotten out, then they would surely be dead or something like that. And I guess that turned out to be true. Okay, I think this is the end of the tour. Thanks for watching.